Welcome and thank you for joining us. You are watching Millennium News Hour and I am Tanziba Naurin. Today we have brought top and trending news from across the nation and the world. Let's begin with the headlines. Trump attended Daytona 500 again as president and excited NASCAR fans. Trump faced criticism for comparing himself to Napoleon amid judge disputes. Rubio said no final plans for Russia-Ukraine peace talks. Kentucky flooding killed at least 8 and left thousands without power. "112 Indians deported from US arrive in Amritsar on military plane. Elon Musk takes break from social media after claim of 30th child by mega influencer. Governor Hochul warns New Yorkers of Ispa's text message scam. Netanyahu threatens severe action if hostages not returned. Macron hosts summit to address tensions over Ukraine amid US talks with Russia. Stampede at New Delhi railway station killed 18 people. US beats Canada 3-1 in intense hockey clash. And Irish jockey Michael O'Sullivan died after race fall. Family donated his organs. You were listening to Headlines Now News in detail. President Trump attended the Daytona 500 for the second time as president. He thrilled thousands of NASCAR fans with an Air Force One flyover before landing near the track. His motorcade with him inside the Beast did a lap around the track as fans cheered. Trump traveled with his son Eric, grandson Luke, and several government officials. The White House said he praised the race as a symbol of America's love for tradition and competition. Trump first attended the Daytona 500 in 2020 while running for a second term. He was the Grand Marshal and gave the command for drivers to start their engines. He also watched the Super Bowl last weekend, making history as the first sitting president to do so. Trump often attends sports events, including college football and UFC fights. Last May, he watched the Coca-Cola 600 in North Carolina. A NASCAR driver said having a president at the race was special. He believed it brought more attention to the event. NASCAR fans are known for supporting conservative values, making Trump's visit even more significant. President Donald Trump received criticism after he compared himself to Napoleon in a social media post. The post came after judges blocked some of his administration's policies, leading his supporters to question the legitimacy of the rulings. Trump posted a phrase attributed to Napoleon, "Who saves his country violates no law." Critics said this suggested he believed he could ignore the law to push his agenda. Senator Tim Kaine warned that the president must follow legal decisions, while economist Robert Reich called Trump's actions unconstitutional. Since taking office on January 20th, Trump's administration has faced at least 70 lawsuits over policies like cutting federal budgets and reducing government staff. Over the weekend, more employees were dismissed from agencies, including the CDC and the Department of Education. Elon Musk's government advisory team has pushed for further job cuts. Meanwhile, Trump's trade policies are expected to raise inflation. Despite promising lower prices, inflation rose to 3% in January. Trump now says prices may increase in the short term but will drop later. His tariff plan is likely to spark international disputes, raising concerns about job losses. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said the U.S. was still far from starting peace talks to end the war between Russia and Ukraine. He mentioned that nothing has been finalized regarding possible meetings between U.S. and Russian officials in Saudi Arabia. President Trump recently said he had a lengthy and highly productive phone call with the Russian President Vladimir Putin. Trump then directed Rubio and his national security team to begin negotiations to end the war. He also spoke with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. Rubio, speaking from Israel, said Putin showed interest in peace during his call with Trump. However, he stressed that actions would determine if Russia was serious. One phone call does not solve a war, Rubio said. Rubio planned to visit Saudi Arabia next, joined by National Security Advisor Mike Waltz and Trump's Middle East envoy Steve Witkoff. He said Ukraine and European countries must be involved in any real negotiations. Retired Lieutenant General Keith Kellogg, the U.S. Special Envoy for Ukraine and Russia, indicated that talks with Russia and Ukraine might happen separately, raising concerns among European and Ukrainian officials. Kentucky faced severe flooding as heavy rains caused rivers to rise and roads to be blocked. Rescuers saved more than 1,000 people from floodwaters. Officials confirmed at least 8 deaths, and the number could rise as search teams continue their work. Governor Andy Beshear said it was one of the worst weather disasters in years. He warned residents to stay off roads to avoid further tragedies. A mother and her 7-year-old child drowned when their car was swept away in Hurt County. A 73-year-old man was found dead in Clay County's flood waters. On that day, nearly 40,000 people lost power and thousands faced water shortages or boil advisories. The Kentucky River Medical Center had to transfer patients due to flooding. Photos showed streets, cars, and homes underwater. President Trump approved disaster relief funding for the state. Meanwhile, other parts of the U.S. experienced extreme weather, including heavy snowfall in New England and freezing temperatures in the northern plains. Tornado watches were also issued in Georgia and Florida. Authorities urged residents to stay home and stay safe as the recovery efforts continued. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. A U.S. military plane carrying 112 Indian illegal immigrants landed in Amritsar last night. This was the third such deportation flight under President Donald Trump's strict immigration policies. The aircraft arrived at 10:03 p.m. according to sources. A similar flight carrying 117 deportees had reached Amritsar earlier. The first group of deported Indians arrived on February 5. Several passengers from that flight claimed they were handcuffed throughout the journey and released only after landing, sparking outrage in India. Opposition parties demanded that Prime Minister Narendra Modi raise the issue during his visit to the U.S. The Indian government has already expressed concerns to U.S. officials regarding the treatment of deportees. More deportation flights are expected as the Trump administration continues its crackdown on undocumented immigrants. The U.S. has been increasing deportations of illegal immigrants, including Indians, as part of its tougher border enforcement policies. Many of those deported had been detained in the U.S. for months. Indian officials are monitoring the situation closely and may take further diplomatic steps to ensure better treatment of deported individuals in the future. Elon Musk decided to go offline after mega influencer Ashley St. Clair claimed she had given birth to his 13th child. St. Clair, 26 years old, announced on social media that Musk was the father of her 5-month-old baby, stating she had kept the birth private for the child's safety. She criticized Musk for not responding to her attempts to communicate. Musk, who has 12 children from previous relationships, did not confirm or deny St. Clair's claim but responded to comments suggesting her pregnancy was planned. He then announced he would be offline for the weekend to focus on his AI project. St. Clair also criticized Musk for responding publicly to accusations from others, calling it a distraction from the real issue. The influencer previously worked for the Babylon Bee and claimed Musk privately messaged her in 2023, leading to an interview and subsequent secretive interactions. While Musk has not publicly acknowledged his parental role with St. Clair, her representative stated they were waiting for Musk to formally recognize his responsibility for the child. Governor Kathy Hochul recently warned New York residents about a scam involving fake E-ZPass text messages. Consumers reported receiving SMS texts from unknown numbers asking for payment of unpaid tolls. These texts often contained unofficial websites and asked recipients to reply with why to receive a link. Hochul emphasized that E-ZPass or tolls by mail would never request sensitive personal information like credit card numbers or social security details through text or email. She urged people to be cautious and avoid responding to suspicious messages. If unsure about a message, consumers were advised to contact E-ZPass or tolls by mail directly or visit their official websites. In case of fraud, the New York Department of State's Division of Consumer Protection offered assistance, and consumers could file complaints with the Federal Trade Commission. Officials reminded New Yorkers to avoid clicking on links from unknown sources to protect their personal information and security. Now it's time for global updates. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has vowed to open the gates of hell if Hamas does not release all hostages taken during the war. In a statement with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Netanyahu emphasized the shared strategy between the U.S. and Israel to eliminate Hamas military and political presence in Gaza and bring all hostages home. Netanyahu also expressed support for President Trump's bold vision for Gaza's future. Rubio stressed that the U.S. and Israel are working hard to bring the hostages back safely. Netanyahu welcomed Trump's proposal for Gaza's redevelopment, calling it a new path for the region's future. He also reiterated that Hamas must be eradicated to ensure peace. The two leaders discussed Iran's regional aggression and its backing of terrorist groups, agreeing to work together to counter Iran's influence. Israel's military continues to target Iran-backed groups while preparing for further actions against Hamas. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. You are watching latest global updates. French President Emmanuel Macron convened a summit of European defense leaders in Paris to discuss Ukraine's future as US officials engaged in preliminary ceasefire talks with Russia in Riyadh. The European leaders, including Germany's Chancellor Olaf Scholz and UK's Keir Starmer, aimed to present a united European stance, demanding Europe and Kiev be included in discussions with Russia. The summit addressed concerns over President Trump's push for a ceasefire deal, which could involve a US-Russia curve-up of Ukraine. European leaders warned against compromising Ukrainian sovereignty and discussed how Europe could provide security guarantees for Ukraine. Macron emphasized Europe's role in any future peace process and insisted that NATO membership should be on the table if Russia breaches a ceasefire. Meanwhile, Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky remained skeptical about Russian intentions and emphasized the importance of lasting peace. A stampede at New Delhi railway station killed at least 18 people, including 14 women. The tragedy happened when a large crowd gathered to board a train to the Mahakumbh festival in Prayagraj. Many passengers slipped and fell while coming down from a footbridge, causing chaos. Witnesses said a sudden announcement about a platform change led to confusion. The crowd lost control and no one could stop it, said a shopkeeper at the station. Prime Minister Narendra Modi expressed sadness over the incident and promised support for the victims' families. Authorities provided medical care for the injured. Railway Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw ordered an investigation to find the cause of the stampede. Last month, at least 30 people died in a similar incident at the festival. Officials are now working on safety measures to prevent future tragedies at crowded stations. Let's have a look on today's sports stories. A hockey match between the US and Canada turned chaotic as 3 fights broke out within the first 9 seconds. The game took place at Bell Center, where some fans booed the US national anthem before the puck dropped. Matthew Tkachuk fought Brandon Hagel right after the face-off. Seconds later, Brady Tkachuk fought Sam Bennett and JT Miller clashed with Colton Parayko. Despite the intense start, the US won 3-1. Jayden Larkin scored the winning goal in the second period, while Jake Guentzel added 2 goals, including an empty netter. US coach Mike Sullivan praised the game as incredible. Players said the fights were planned and not related to the anthem booing. With this win, the US secured a spot in the Four Nations face-off final. They will play Sweden next, while Canada will face Finland. Irish jockey Michael O'Sullivan died after suffering serious injuries in a race fall earlier this month. He was 24. O'Sullivan fell while riding Wycherley at the final phase during a race in Thurles, Ireland on February 6. He was treated on the track and then taken to Cork University Hospital, where doctors placed him in an induced coma. He died early February 16 with his family by his side. The Irish Horse Racing Regulatory Board confirmed his death and expressed condolences to his family, friends, and colleagues. IHRB's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Jennifer Pugh, said his family decided to donate his organs, helping save other lives. As a mark of respect, races at Punchestown and other locations were cancelled. O'Sullivan turned professional in 2022 and gained recognition after winning multiple races at the Cheltenham Festival. The racing community mourned his loss, calling him a talented and well-liked rider. We will be back after a short break. Till then, stay with us. This world continuously revolving around various events. Every minute, every second, something is happening somewhere around the globe, and you want to get connected to that event or to that specific moment. Here we come, Millennium News Hour, to get you connected with top USA and international trending news, which includes local news, political news, world news, business news, health and science-related news, entertainment news, sports news, and so on. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for OLED TVs such as Sony, Samsung, LG, Roku TV, Amazon TV, and Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BD Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with Millennium News Hour to get the world news on your feed. Welcome back to Millennium News Hour. Now it's time for business news. Today's New York stock close price is 20,130.49. The NYSE Composite is increased by 50.80 points or 0.25%. Tokyo stock close price is 39,149.43. The Nikkei 225 index is decreased by 312.04 points or 0.79%. Shanghai stock close price is 3,346.72. The Shanghai index is increased by 14.24 points or 0.43%. Hong Kong stock close price is 22,620.33. The Hang Seng index is increased by 805.96 points or 3.69%. Bombay stock close price is 75,939.21. The Sensex index is decreased by 199. 0.76 points or 0.26%. Let's have a look on today's weather forecast. Before finishing today's news, let's hear out the headlines again. Trump attended Daytona 500 again as president and excited NASCAR fans. Trump faced criticism for comparing himself to Napoleon amid judge disputes. Rubio said no final plans for Russia-Ukraine peace talks. Kentucky flooding killed at least 8 and left thousands without power. "112 Indians deported from US arrive in Amritsar on military plane." Elon Musk takes break from social media after claim of 13th child by mega influencer. Governor Hochul warns New Yorkers of Ispa's text message scam. Netanyahu threatens severe action if hostages not returned. Macron hosts summit to address tensions over Ukraine amid US talks with Russia. Stampede at New Delhi railway station killed 18 people. US beats Canada 3-1 in intense hockey clash. And Irish jockey Michael O'Sullivan died after race fall. Family donated his organs. That's all for today. Keep watching Millennium News Hour for latest news update. To stay updated, like our Facebook page, subscribe our YouTube channel, and visit our websites. Our website addresses are www.millenniumnews24.com and www.millenniumtv24.com. Millennium News 24 is transmitted and available to be watched free for all smart TVs and Roku TV, Amazon TV, Apple TV, and also in all European countries and Australia, available with Sky Network, Worldwide Jago TV, Radiant IPTV, Worldwide Jago BT Network, and Horizon Satellite globally. Stay connected with us for all the latest news worldwide. Thank you.